said, I'm leaving. He says, where are you going? I said, I got a job offer. What kind of job offer did you get? As a comedian, Omaha, Nebraska. I'm going to go open for a band. And the tears just started to flow down his face. I said, what's the matter? He says, you don't know how tough it's going to be. I said, it's what I want to do. He says, does it make you happy? I said, yeah. He said, okay. What name are you going to use? He said, what? What name are you going to use? I said, no, last name. I said, Hackett. Why? He says, all these years I've been building up the name. I hate to see you fuck it up in one outing. I started writing a book at the behest of my wife about my father, Buddy Hackett. And in the middle of it all, I said, wow, these stories are so good. And I've been telling them for years to friends. I should be telling these on stage to the public. I bet they'd love to hear them. And that's what this is about. This is about my life with my father, Buddy Hackett, America's funniest comedian for half a century. My 10 years of touring with him, being his opening act, being his best friend, hanging out with him on the set, growing up with him, life lessons. I've been telling stories about my father since the first time I ever stood on stage. A big producer once told me, give me a show with 3 big audience laughs in it, and you'll have a hit. Came out with the pendant hanging like that. And the next day the paper said, Buddy Hackett came out naked wearing nothing but a pendant about the size of a silver dollar. Truth be told, all he needed was a dime.
I have loved hearing Sandy tell stories about his father through the years. So I said, let's bring these stories to life in a live theatrical production about Buddy Hackett. This is an incredible father-son story, and in directing the show, I really wanted to capture the impact that our parents have on our lives, because I think the best way we can honor them and their legacy is to stand as a testament to who they were, what they believed in, and what they taught us. Sandy has his father's comedic genius and that rare gift of being able to make people laugh until they cry. But most people don't see his other side, the serious side of great emotional depth and complexity. Quiet, humble, and very private.
In 1961, my father said ass for the first time on stage. He believed if it's dirty, it's not funny. And if it's funny, it's not dirty. My father received the Disney Legends Award in 2003, and I was going to speak on his behalf. When I got to Disney, I had no clue what I was going to say. Roy Disney Jr. was holding the ceremony, and what did they have in common with Buddy Hackett? Not clean. Still, but I'm looking at Roy Disney, and behind him is the Disney building. And carved in the Disney building, about 6, 7 stories high, are the 7 dwarves carved in stone, 20, 30 feet high, holding up the roof of the Disney building. And it dawned on me, Disney loves things that are short, fat, and funny. In the early 70s, I went with my father to closing night at the lounge at the Riviera Hotel where Shecky Greene was performing. Every entertainer in town was there, and they had all been introduced except for my father and Frank Sinatra. I wanted to hear my dad get his due and be introduced, but Shecky didn't know he was there. Shecky was about to introduce Frank Sinatra when he said, how do you introduce God himself? And my father jumped up and said, Shecky, forget about me, Frank's here. Buddy Hackett was my best friend, father, teacher, helper, sounding board, sage wisdom, giver of advice. He prepared me for life. And then he prepared me for the day when he wouldn't be there. One day he came to see me work at a comedy club. Oh God, was I nervous. Little place like this. And when the show was over, he said, you're ready. He said, you're ready.